So I've been watching some of the other videos on here. I don't subscribe to too many people, but I do watch my fair share of videos. I don't want to clog up my subscription box more than anything because I don't want, 20 videos a minute flying in and then I'll miss some of the others. You know how it is. But anyway, I watched TechCentric's latest two-parter video, and, that's the maddest you're ever going to see TechCentric, and that's my way, and I'm being partially sardonic because he doesn't get mad. He's an easygoing guy as near as we can tell. I know the internet, you can change your persona on the internet, but you guys know what I'm saying if you guys know TechCentric. Anyway, I've listened to what he had to say, and I liked quite a bit of it. He called out Romo for the vacation to Mexico with Jessica Simpson and all that, and it's refreshing to see a fan who's willing to call out his a player or a coach or whatever, and really put the loss on his shoulders and really just get down on him a little bit, because that's not something that's overly common, I suppose. It would be easier, I think it would just be easier to say this was an anomaly. This won't happen next time. It was a fluke. But, for a fan to really get into a player because he went to relax instead of study game film, I appreciate that, because that's the kind of thing I'd do if I was in that situation. So, he was rough on Romo. And, I think that's well-deserved because a lot of what he said was right. The bad snaps, the poor routes, the general undiscipline of the Cowboys. Some of it has to come back to Romo taking that vacation. And, a lot of people on ESPN and NFL Network and on YouTube and on here and there, they really don't want to put this on the vacation because it sounds shallow and a little ludicrous. And they don't want to say that they don't want to have to admit that their season might have ended on such a ridiculous thing, but, it's worth talking about. So good job, Tech, stepping up to that. I think it takes a real fan to admit to talk about something like that. I stand by what I said about Wade Phillips, though. He also talked a little bit about Wade Phillips, and it's not all about this year. He talks about letting Wade have another chance. He messed up this time because the Cowboys weren't ready, but he'll give him a second chance. I think he's on his, I don't know, this was like his fourth chance, if I'm being honest. He has a history of not getting it done in the postseason. He has a history of being too laid back and too much of a player's coach. He's just not a particularly passionate guy. He's more of a cheerleader coach than anything. And, he had chances in Buffalo to win games, playoff games, and he didn't. He won games, just not playoff games, and now he goes over to Dallas and does pretty much the exact same thing on a higher level. And to me, that is his second chance. That's his third and fourth chance and all that. So, Wade Phillips is a nice guy, but TechCentric in his video compared him to Tony Dungy. The thing you got to remember is Tony Dungy is a defensive genius. He knows how to take these players that may not be overly talented and find players that fit into his scheme perfectly, his Tampa 2 defense, a defense that he helped pioneer. He finds these small, quick, undersized guys that aren't that good but know how to play his defense, and, that's how he got his Super Bowl ring. And Wade Phillips has a nice 3-4 defense, but I wouldn't exactly call it ingenious. It's all based around quarterback pressure from the front seven, and I don't think it does enough in terms of pass coverage, and that's just